Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical. This is Mystical Gaming. We're back in a Watcher of Realms, and a little while ago I released this video, attack buff missing. So when you put on the Wings of Grace system, it didn't give you the 12% additional attack, there was no buff icon that came up, and the damage didn't go up at all either, which is what you would expect. So that was a bit of a shame. So we wrote off a ticket to the support team, and then quick as a flash, we had nothing. They were on holiday, but then after they came back, a week after that, we still heard nothing. And then someone in the comments put, have you heard anything? Has it been fixed yet? So I wrote another quick email, another quick message off to the devs to say, any news on this? Is it being fixed? Is it being looked at? This was my original post. Have we got anywhere with it? And then from that one, I heard nothing as well, so that was a bit of a shame. So when we jump into the game, there have been some patch notes issued for the game. So if we check those out, we can see here, this is for the Forerunner, so obviously because it's a T3 set, hasn't come out global yet. So we can scroll down through here and we can have a look. There's a Hero Kane's been buffed, all of this sort of good stuff with his buffing. And then down in the others part here, we can see there's some bits about the Dwarven Association, Honour's Gauntlet is being changed. If you scroll right down, it's not mentioned there either. Still, unperturbed by that, we checked it anyway. And it's been fixed, so it does still work. So what does it actually do there? Well, this is the blurb on it and what it actually does. So Wings of Grace, a 3-piece set, healing effect plus 30. That always happened when you fit the set, your character gets a straight healing effect plus 30 attached to them. Then it says increases the attack of the hero, brilliant, and the ally with the highest attack in range by 12%. That's fantastic. It's a straight up boost to the Invigoration set, or it looks like it. So, but it works the same as, it doesn't say the same, but it works the same as Invigoration set. So, quick look at what the Invigoration set does. So this is the Invigoration set. Again, 3-piece set, healing effect plus 25. So when you fit it, your character gets a straight up plus 25 on the healing effect. Now this one says, when deployed, the hero and one random ally in range gain 10% attack. Right, so they're worded slightly differently, and the Wings of Grace is a culmination of both of these parts, so it works slightly differently. So if you're running an Invigoration set, what you normally do is you generally put your DPS down, because it says one random person, so you put your DPS down, you put your Invigoration set down. If there's only one person on there, that random ally will be the one person that you've got down there, and the person wearing it, they both get attacked. You then put another DPS down, you then put another Invigoration set down. So if there's already a buff on there, it won't buff that same person, it will buff the new person. So this is generally how it works, particularly on like Guild Boss 1, that sort of thing. People stagger and are quite prescriptive about where they attach their heroes with Invigoration set and when they put them down, that sort of thing. So we may not have to go quite as careful with this set. Now it just attaches to the person with the highest attack. So let's jump in, see how it works, what it's doing. But first we need to have a look at the Invigoration set and just be aware of how the Invigoration set actually works. So we'll have a quick look at that first, and then it's onto the Wings of Grace system. Okay, so if you're happy with the Invigoration set, there'll be a chapters thing below that will bump you straight past it. But if not, quick look at the Invigoration set. Right, we've got a couple of champions here, some are decked out in Invigoration, some are decked out in Wings of Grace, and we will just have a quick play around just to show how Invigoration set works. So what we're going to do, we're going to place down our fighter, we're going to place down our Dolores, there she goes. Now as you can see, if we click on her, she has got the Invigoration set on, she gets plus 10% attack, brilliant. She's also passed it on to one random ally, and that's going to be our fighter there, he's now got the buff on, but let's remember it does say when deployed. So if we remove him, and we remove her, and we'll pick up Volker over there to actually do some attacking, that sort of stuff, so we don't actually wipe. Now it says when deployed, it doesn't say when redeployed or when deployed again. The flip side to that is it doesn't also say, like some heroes now say, on first deployment or only on initial deployment or anything like that. So we don't get any of that. So let's bear that in mind. Now we will chuck down a couple of heroes for her. So if we put down a hero here and we put down a hero here, we can have a look at him. The buffer's gone as expected. We put Dolores down now. We can check Dolores, she's got it, she's got a set on, so she constantly gets that. Hero here doesn't get it, hero here has lost it and doesn't get it again, so it is only when deployed. It's that first deployment, that's when your Invigoration set works. It doesn't work when you keep redeploying the person, so bear that in mind. Now, It's important to know that because that phrase of when deployed is missing from the Wings of Grace set. So the Wings of Grace set doesn't say that, but that is how it appears to work, at least at first glance. So the other thing the set says it does is it says it gives the attack bonus to the person or the champion with the highest amount of attack. So we just have a quick look. I've run this a couple of times, probably a couple of dozen now, and I cannot get it to fail. So we'll put down the 3 heroes here, we'll put down Kalina, and there we go. We can see that she's got the 12% attack buff on, and then Vogoth's got it as well, and then the other 2 don't have any buff on whatsoever. There we go, as expected. Now when you rerun it, and like I said, I've rerun it dozens of times and I cannot get this to fail. So I'll put them down in different order in different places. So we'll put you over there this time, we can put you there, we'll put you there, and we'll even put you going somewhere else as well. And as you can see, yeah, he's still got the buff, no buff, no buff, and there's a 12% there. So I cannot get it to fail. So it goes on the champion with the high, or the hero with the highest attack, or does it? It's sort of, it gets a bit interesting here. And now when I say interesting, I sort of mean interesting with regards to Wings of Grace, not sort of globally interesting, because probably not so much there. Now when we have a look at our heroes, we flash them up and have a quick look at the gearing on them. So here's our first hero here, and as we can see that she's naked, got absolutely no gear on her, and her attack comes in at 2,400. Nothing to worry about there. As you can see, Vorgoth naked as well, but he's got an attack of 5,374. But remember that 5,374. Now when we come up here, we've put some gear on this champion here. So his attack, although his basic attack is lower, his total attack is higher than the 5,374, was it? So his attack is higher, but he does not get the attack. Now the thing you've got to calculate into this is when your hero is placed down and the attack you're getting also includes your Pantheon bonus as well. So it's including this in your attack. So his attack, Vogoth's attack, Vorov's attack is higher when you include Pantheon bonus, but not higher when you just have a look at it. So bear that in mind. If you've got an issue with where it's going, that might be the issue you've got. So you will have to check that up. Now the other thing to look at is if we get some gear here and we put on some extra gear. So now we've got attack percent rolling all the way down for him. There we go. And now if we put him in, that Pantheon bonus won't make so much of a difference, and we can see that it actually goes on to the person we're expecting it to go on now. But it is worth remembering that going forward. So we'll have a quick play test here and just run through to make sure that that does actually work as intended, or as we suspect it should work. So this time round we will go you first, you second, you third, and we're coming this way round this time. There we are. We can see no attack bonus. There's the Wings of Grace bonus there, and now Vorgoth doesn't have it. So bear that in mind. If it's not going where you expect it to go, it can have something to do with the Pantheon bonus, okay, just so you're aware of that. Now let's do some other quick tests while we're here, some other things we may miss to worry about. Now what we normally do is, normally with our Invigoration set, particularly if you're doing Guild Boss 1, that sort of thing, is you will put down your DPS. So you're going to put down your DPS here, happy with that. I'm then going to put down my Dolores, for example, and off we go. There's Dolores there, and she puts an attack buff on this person here. Brilliant. If I now then place down my Wings of Grace, there we go, 12%, that will overwrite what we've got on Vorgoth now. So you will overwrite any Invigoration buffs that you've got out there. So do bear that in mind as well. When you're putting your hero down, if you're putting them down in a very prescriptive manner, you will have to bear in mind that the people with the Invigoration buff will supersede those without it. Now, so we're now going to strip his gear back off him, so his gear now is much closer to that of Vorgoth. So if we come back into our fight now, and we have a look when they're close together again, so what we do when we're placing them down is we normally place down our DPS. DPS goes down, happy with that. We then place down our Invigoration buff. So Invigoration, 10% there. On our fighter, we've got 10% there, happy with that. We then place down Vorgoth. Now Vorgoth has got a higher attack than Jagar, so we know that when we place clean down here, Vorgoth will get it. Well, he doesn't, because now we had a 10% Invigoration buff on. That's now boosting up his attack, and he now gets overwritten with the Wings of Grace buff. So again, be careful of that. Now the other thing it gets weirder. So the other thing to note is, even if we place down our heroes in the same order again, so place down there and place down Dolores there, and then as you can see we've got our 10% attack there, Invigoration buff. Dolores got a 10% attack, Invigoration buff. Voroth down here, so he's got no buff on him now, and then we place down our Wings of Grace. The person who gets it now is obviously Dolores gets it, so she gets the 12%. So you can even override sets that people are actually wearing. So the set works, but bear in mind when you're using it who you've got in the area and who's actually going to get the buff, because it could be quite confusing for you and you may not get the desired effect that you're after. Okay, so our last little test is going to be Wings of Grace versus Wings of Grace set and who gets what. So we'll just skip past this, and then if we jump into the fight, so let's place our two fighters down. There we go, fighter 1, fighter 2, and then if we apply our Wings of Grace set, there we go. So she's got Wings of Grace set on. As you can see, she's got the buff up at plus 12%. Happy with that. Or off there, plus 12%. Next fighter there, no buff there. So there's Scorch. Everyone loves a Scorch. Place him down, and he has got the Wings of Grace set on, so he's got 12% on. And then we've also now got it on our second fighter. It does not override itself, so bear that in mind. It does still work like the Invigoration set like that, so that's a plus. But other than that, I would make sure that your person with the highest attack goes down, and then you want your person with Wings of Grace set to go down, and then next highest attack, next Wings of Grace set, depending on how many of them that you've got, before you start putting in your Invigoration set buffs going down onto people. So just bear that in mind when you're recalculating about who goes where. Okay, thank you very much. That would do me in a video today. Thank you very much for watching. If you could, on your way out, do the old thumbs up, because that will help the video go out to more people and they can all learn about the Wings of Grace set as well. And if you haven't, could you please subscribe if you got this far in the video? I definitely deserve that. Right, I'll see you in a video again soon. I'm off to do some summoning. Good luck if you're summoning, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, goodbye.